So the big picture for this lesson is inverse trig functions. We're going to look at inverse sine, inverse cosine, inverse tangent. So when you're doing an inverse function, remember you reflect it through the line y equals x. So if you were to take this sine of x function and then reflect it, you would end up with kind of a vertical periodic function. So the problem with that is that the sine x function doesn't pass the horizontal line test. It's not one-to-one. So if you do the inverse, it's not going to be a function. So what we do is we restrict the domain to just a piece of the sine function where it will be one-to-one, and then we can go ahead and do the inverse. So the interval is negative pi over 2 to pi over 2 as shown here. So you can see the graph here, it looks like a piece of that periodic inverse function that I was talking about. And you can see the x and y values that go with it. And notice that because it's an inverse function, the inputs are ratios of the sides of the triangle, and the outputs are the degree measures in radians instead of the other way around. Cosine function, we can't use negative pi over 2 to pi over 2 because it's not one-to-one over that interval. So instead we use 0 to pi. It is one-to-one over that interval. So here's what it looks like. It's like that vertical piece of a periodic function. Remember, the inputs are the ratios of the triangle, and the outputs are the angle measures in radians. Now for the tangent function, we just use from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. That is one period of the function anyway. This one's probably the easiest one to think about. And then you can see what it looks like. It's increasing. And once again, the inputs are the ratios of the right triangle, and the outputs are the angles in radian measure. So that's the big picture for this lesson.